Let's tidy things up.
Autobots!
If you had a job where you come to work and people clap for you, it would change your entire mood.
Don't this hit make my people wanna stop? Don't this hit make my people wanna stop? Don't this hit make my people wanna stop?
Watch the series finale of X-Men next Saturday morning. Check your local listings.
It won't take long when there's a song to help you set the pace.
This is pathetic. Where we used to live. Why did you keep the mousetrap?
Life could be worse.
This is the worst.
This is the worst.
This is the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Send me a kiss, my wine. Baby, my heart's on fire.
And the Disney stock just keeps going down and down and down.
I'm bag of pixie dust. Contraband.
They're going to do the Mary Poppins thing. They're going to do it. They're going to do it.
Yeah.
Magic mirror on the wall. The fairest one of all.
Oh, bitch, you killed Kenny.
Kenny.
You fat hoe.
I get it. I'm not persecuted. I'm just an ass.
If you haven't subscribed to Lorena yet and you're watching this, you suck.
Hello, 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 all of you party people. I'm Reina Creole, and welcome to my channel. And more importantly, welcome to the Spice Lounge, where myself and a couple of friends that drop by, you know what, there's so much bovine excrement going on in pop culture, and this is the show where we talk about it. No filter. We just let it fly and tell it like it is. So, wow, where do we start? Well, we'll give you the highlights. We got the Snow White trailer, the new one, downvoted into oblivion, and we are really gonna have a great time going through the comments because they are comedy gold. We're gonna talk about why the heck did the Marvel Rivals development team all get canned, retrenched, made redundant, laid off, considering how popular that game is. Yeah. We're going to talk about that. And we're also going to talk about, I guess, another chapter of What the Bleep is Wrong with Mark Hamill. So we got a lot in store for the show tonight. So please do make sure you hit that like button on YouTube. Make sure you heart the stream over there on X. And let's get started. I'm going to bring in my friends who dropped by. We have got Erica from Hanging with Erica and Rob, and we have got Ron from Follow the Bradley's Fun. How are the two of y'all doing?
I'm alive. Oh, good news. My pants are up and they're not dropping. So that's good.
Really?
Yeah, I'm no Mark Hamill.
Yeah. I'm like, bruh, do we really want to know what you were doing before you got up there? I mean, nobody didn't say, hey, you might want to,
I mean, he ain't no spring chicken.
No. So it makes me wonder, what the heck was he thinking? So whatever, we're just gonna let the thing roll here. So courtesy of the Bleeding Fool, what did he say? I'm sorry, I popped that up too early. What was
I'm
Mark
looking at a
Hamill?
side angle of this. That'd be a lot more weird. Just saying.
I know, but we gonna see this. So what was Mark Hamill doing with his pants at the BAFTAs here? So hopefully it wasn't he wasn't tubing, if you know.
Can take. It's that films create worlds so vivid and stories so powerful that we lose ourselves in them completely. They create immersive cinematic landscapes that feel alive, whether they're set here in London or anywhere your imagination can take. It's that films create worlds so vivid and stories so powerful that we lose ourselves in them completely.
To pull that up like you didn't see anything.
Use the force, Luke. Luke, don't let go, Luke. Luke, do not let go. Don't let go, Luke.
Luke. I mean, bruh, you couldn't take a moment.
Oh man.
And hey, maybe I should kind of, tighten up my belt before I get up and do this.
Okay, so I'm trying to read his thoughts.
Okay,
I'm reading his thoughts. Damn it, I should not have tried on Harrison's pants for this.
He's really struggling there. I mean, he's all like really getting down there and pulling them up, and then wait, forgot the back, and pull them up again. Oh, wait, the front corner here, gonna pull them up.
Stories so powerful
oh my gosh,
that we lose ourselves in them completely. They create immersive cinematic.
He's losing himself in it completely, guys. He's going along with the words, guys. He's losing himself.
Is he having a stroke? I don't know, but I bet you whoever was recording the BAFTAs, they probably had one after this happened. I mean, it's almost the equivalent, but not quite, of
that happens when you let all that hot air out.
Yeah,
it's definitely BAFTA-ling.
He was giving Gosling Bark a bad name. Oh my gosh. When I look at this, and let me play this again.
Landscapes.
At least he didn't
tuck it in the front,
anywhere you're
and in the back.
It's that films create.
This isn't like, you're supposed to kind of like fix that, do the Picard maneuver or whatever before you get out there in front of people. This is
actually for the people saying that a belt is required. There's a very good chance with tuxedo pants that they don't have a belt. Because if you know anything about tuxedo pants, they have those clips that you pull tight on the side and then you clip them. So there's a very good chance. I've worn a lot of tuxedo pants in my life because I've been in a lot of show choirs where tuxedo pants are required, and they have like a little metal clip on both sides of them, and you push it as high as you can. You put the clip in on both sides. If they came unclipped, those pants literally would, like, if those clips popped and he's not wearing a belt, that's probably why the pants came down. There's a very good chance that he didn't have the thing clipped in very well. Walked on stage, the clips are coming off. He doesn't notice, and it's just like whoop. I mean, just straight down. That's my best guess from having worn many pairs of. Now, granted, the ones I wear are cheap. I wear cheap tuxedo pants, so I don't know. He should be having like $1,000 tuxedo there. So, yeah, I don't know what happened.
Well, I want to say this is not Mark's first rodeo with a tux. And
True.
I mean, even if that was like the case, dude should have like fixed that over to the side. This is like, this is what I was saying earlier. This is like if you've got, and I've seen this happen, some actresses who are very well endowed up top. I feel you, I'm part of that club. And you've got this strapless dress on. And you don't have the right foundation garments, and stuff starts shifting. And it's like, should I adjust this in front of everybody or risk, headlights popping out? I mean, which one am I supposed to do? It's just like, no, you're going to fix that before you get on stage. I don't care what kind of shimmying you have to do before you get there, but bruh,
the kids are all like, headlights.
I just can't. I really pants problem. Yeah.
I mean, look, he's 73 years old. Just saying.
He definitely should know better. But I have to give him credit. He stayed on message.
He didn't break it when he was. He kept his bearing.
He pretty much did.
Films
Look,
create
he's
worlds
just
so vivid and stories so powerful that we lose ourselves in them completely. They create immersive cinematic landscapes that feel alive, whether they're set here in London or anywhere your imagination can take.
He's a little nervous there. I'm like, oh shoot.
It's
Someone
too
had
bad.
to have gotten video from the side.
It is.
Really
It's too
wanna
bad
see
that it's too bad that he doesn't have like comedy chops. That's really not his forte, because it could have been like if he were I don't know, I pick a name, somebody that's really funny that does this kind of stuff. Like he could have made fun of himself for having it happen, like clearly acknowledged it, and it could have been a super humorous, purposeful moment. You'd be like, oh, this is on purpose and whatever. Made it look like that so that it was humor, but he doesn't have the comedy chops for it, so he just kept reading the lines that he was given. But it's not like, I mean, when you think about Mark Hamill's career, he has one character that everybody knows, and then he has other characters that, like, some people love his Joker, but that was a cartoon, so not very many people know that it's him. And then his other roles are, very small, nothing huge. It's just, I don't know. It's funny. He should have been at the con. He would have made some money.
Yeah. I tell you.
You sure about that?
He's too proud of himself to make fun of anything. Yeah, he
Ron Howard was there.
He could have played this off like, hey, it's been a long night. or something, because I didn't pay attention to a word he said, because all I could see was him trying to readjust and fix stuff. And it was so not cool.
Yeah, he had a golden opportunity to turn into something funny, and instead he just tried to save it, and it really just made it worse.
Right, saving that.
I mean, if it were me up there and this happened to me and I was Mark Hamill, I would have been like, okay, well, hey, who's using the force? I don't know who you are out there, but stop it right now, okay? I'm pulling my pants up. All right.
Either that or use a Skeletor voice.
Stay on target.
Something,
Stay on target. What's up, Native?
Oh, you know what? Whatever side footage they got, they probably burned that sucker. We're not going to show that because they've got multiple cameras. They just didn't want to. They just want to show us. But yeah. Props to you, Mark, for staying on target. But honestly, this was a missed opportunity, my dear. Let me tell you. Amanda says, hello, lovely Lorena, practically perfect panel and cheery chat. Happy Tuesday. How is everyone? Burning my pink castle candle from Magic Candle Company, and I love it. I'm so glad you do. So glad. Thank you. You used my affiliate code to purchase from Magic Candle Company. So thank you so much. I have my affiliate link in the description box. Magic Candle Company is a local Orlando business. They recreate the scents of your favorite places, and they may have to do a Rivers of America scent. And if you know, we know. We'll get to that in a little bit. But yeah, they do candles for SeaWorld, for Universal Orlando. And again, local company, the products are great. I highly suggest getting the splash fragrance. But Pink Castle is nice too. Makes me think of the Nailed It Castle for the 25th, or the Pink Castle.
The birthday cake.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah. We call that the Nailed It cake. Like, yeah, they tried to nail it, but not quite. Not quite. Hey, Native Hawaiian, how you doing? Glad to see you here.
Aloha.
Disneyland buys from Magic Candle Company now too. They pump the Tiki Room scent they make into the Disneyland Hotel. Tiki Terrace. I love Tiki Terrace. Get Tiki Terrace and get like a candle of the they call it the pineapple whip because they can't call it Dole Whip. That's a whole vibe. Okay, you said the magic word candle. I'll have to check it out. Just place my Yankee Candle order. Yes, if you go to Magic, well, I have an affiliate link, but I have an affiliate code. So the code is in the description box. I get a 10% commission, but I love the products. Matter of fact, I got my monthly delivery a couple days ago. I've got that resort. I've got Flying Over Fiji, which smells so good. Oh my gosh. I think it's like the smell that they use in Flight of Passage. And Century, which is just this fresh scent. It's supposed to be like Pop Century, but it smells really good. There's Mine Train, which is not my favorite. It just has this like musty smell to it. I don't particularly like care for it. But this is the one that, it's the subscription and they pick out the 4 and they send you. So there's usually one semi-skunk scent in there. Sometimes.
Is that the one from Journey into the Imagination about halfway through?
Oh, you know what?
What is that scent? It doesn't really smell like skunk.
It doesn't smell like skunk, but it smells like...
It smells bad.
Really bad clothes. It's not good. But there is a Big Thunder Mountain scent that's pretty darn good. I like that one. Oh, okay. No. Not talking about that candle. I had a name for that candle, but I'm not going to say it. I made the mistake of...
Was that the candle that was supposed to smell like her something? Her Paltrow?
I called it the coochie candle. Yes, you got it right. What? Yeah. But
what?
No, it
doesn't.
This? Gwyneth Paltrow had a candle literally called "Smells Like My Vajayjay," but it's like rose and stuff in it. Yes, Google it.
Does it smell like tuna?
That's awful. Oh, yuck.
And I'm demonetized.
Y'all open now and I walked right into it.
If you walked into it, that's really big.
Yeah, the Riviera scent is good too. But speaking of tuna, I'm gonna preface this story by saying your girl lived in Los Angeles for 5 years. Los Angeles turned me into more of a rabid conservative than anywhere else because of all the freaking nonsense and crazy that popped off in Hollywood. I lived about, I'm going to say, I lived about 10 minutes away from North Hollywood. I lived there first before I moved to like Sherman Oaks. And the crazy is insane. I've been to the Hollywood Bowl. So with that said, there we go. Cynthia Erivo to play Jesus in Jesus Christ Superstar at the Hollywood Bowl. Cynthia Erivo is set to play Jesus Christ this summer in a production of Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice's Jesus Christ Superstar at the Hollywood Bowl. Erivo shared the news via Instagram and wrote, "Just a little busy this summer, can't wait." She's no stranger to the show, having starred as Mary Magdalene in an all-female version of the hit musical in 2020 and sung the popular number, "I Don't Know How to Love Him." This is a very limited run, I think from like August 1st through the 3rd. And it's at the Hollywood Bowl. How would I put this? Oh yeah, I know. This is akin to making Moses a woman, or if you're Muslim, making the Prophet Muhammad a woman. This is on purpose to thumb their nose at Christians, but at the end of the day, one, they don't care. They do not care what we think. And two, the fact that it's at the Hollywood Bowl for that short of a time makes me wonder if they're going to see what kind of reception they get. Because remember, there's all this dysfunctional inbred, everybody's sniffing all the smug and everything. Just, yes, queen, this is wonderful. Isn't this great? You know, this is perfect. We can push this chick.
You mentioned an all-female cast. So that means the apostles are going to be all-female too, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, is this an all-female? This one is an all-female cast, or is this not?
This one, they haven't announced the rest of the casting yet, but she was in an all-female version of Mary Magdalene.
The thing about Jesus Christ Superstar is it's not a reverent play to begin with. It's not a reverent take on the story of Jesus Christ.
Nope.
I like some of the
but
songs,
this makes it
some
worse.
of the music from it. But I mean, my biggest curiosity is to see whether or not the Hollywood Bowl gets struck by lightning and blows up.
I know, right?
Oh, that'd be funny.
You know?
It's
oh,
just
man.
like, isn't it bad enough? I'm not saying, I'm just saying, as Wendy Williams would say. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. How bad were those fires? Okay. And considering where the Hollywood Bowl is down there in the Hollywood Hills, you know?
No. Okay, so here's my
like
biggest
ugly.
question. My biggest question is, I can't remember Jesus Christ Superstar if there is a scene post-resurrection, 40 days after his resurrection, he ascends to heaven, right? Jesus Christ ascends to heaven. So will she do that while she's singing Defying Gravity? That would be that would make sense in this completely disrespectful, blasphemous, irreverent take. This is so.
Aldo, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry to hear. Jeez.
It's close to
You'll
where
be fine. You'll be fine, Aldo. You'll be good.
When I lived in NoHo, took what did I take? Coldwater Canyon, or was it Laurel Canyon? I think it was Laurel Canyon that I took to go over to
I'm just curious.
to the Hollywood Bowl.
How full is this going to be?
That
you
is
think it's going to be packed?
You know what? It could be. It's not a super huge venue. A good part of the venue, you pretty much bring your own blanket and you can sit. You know, you have like the nosebleed section. I did that one time because I wasn't paying the price that they wanted for the seats that were further up front. But I just wanted to go because at one time I forget what the heck I went to go see. To see the Hollywood Bowl, because in the Flintstones they kept talking about the Holly Rock Bowl. So I wanted to see what it looked like in person, and I was pretty underwhelmed. I'm like, it looks like the Mann Music Center in Philly.
The venue itself reminds me of the Municipal Opera in St. Louis. They call it the Muni, which is an outdoor venue. And in St. Louis, there's a section in the back that are always free seats, and you just show up and you know, they, once they're occupied, obviously they would turn people away. I don't think they hardly ever turn people away though, but it was nice because you'd go out and it was a nice evening in the summertime in St. Louis. You want to go see a play, you go to the Muni, and if you don't have money, you park for free in Forest Park and you go see it for free. But it's about, I want to say it's very close to the same size as the Hollywood Bowl, because I've been out there as well to see the venue. And you know, it's a famous venue because it's an easy venue to put in a movie because they film so much out there. That makes things cheaper. So most people have seen the Hollywood Bowl in something, and I think it's like featured on 2 Disney Plus specials right now. Right, they have like a Lion King thing, I think, and Encanto live at the Hollywood Bowl. They did that, and so, but look, this kind of stuff, this plays to one very particular and very small percentage, as far as percentage of the population, niche far leftist crowd. Nobody else cares about this stuff. As far as the quote unquote art behind. I mean, this is like creating the statues of Jesus that people pee on for art, which is obviously disrespectful and irreverent. But I think we know from certain scriptures that God will not be mocked. And every time I've seen this kind of stuff done, there's a price to pay for it that people may not really know that they're going to pay, but they will eventually. And I don't want to be a part of it. You know, I don't want to be a part of that because, you know, as far as there's lovely scriptures that say, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. And
Ron, you read my mind.
Yes, his vengeance is a lot worse than mine could ever hope to be. Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? You do your thing. I'm going to let you do it because we have a free country and we'll see how it turns out.
Yep.
Well, you know, we also have to remember God gave us free will, and we have the choice every day to choose him or reject him. And the little things that we do daily, and our little decisions to the big decisions in our lives, you know, in our daily actions and in our thoughts and our words, what we have done and what we have, you know, and, you know, I have an immediate family member who's, unfortunately, not a Christian, very much, very outspoken anti-Christian. They're into witchcraft, and this would be something they would be touting proudly, probably on social media. And it's sad, but you know, you can't be offended at it. As Christians, we know this stuff exists. We know, and you can't. And that's what they want. They want the shock value. They want the attention. They want the reaction is what they want. So the best thing to do in these instances is not to give them what they're looking for. And honestly, we live in a day and age, and I had a similar conversation with my family member because they wanted to open up a Wiccan store right next to a church. And I looked at them and I was like, you do realize it's the 21st century, And the way the world is right now, there's no shock value anymore. It's not like we're living in the 50s and 60s where if you did something like that, yeah, there'd be like a, but nowadays I'm like, what's your point? And they were just touting in a very like, how funny it would be. And I was like, go ahead, do your thing, but nothing's going to come of it. They're going to go to church, do their thing, and go home. And your store is going to be there. Like, I don't know no one's going to be knocking on your store door to Bible thump you.
No, I mean, and this is the thing, and Erica, you're 100% right. And living in LA as long as I did, that's something that I've learned. I mean, people would know that I was a Christian and they would say things to try to get some kind of reaction out of me. I'm just like, no, you're going to do whatever it is that you're going to do. And it's, I'm not going to freak out, run, yell, say you're going to hell unless you want to have that conversation. But completely ignore this. Hollywood is going to Hollywood. That's what I want to drive home. Hollywood is going to Hollywood. We should not be surprised about this type of thing that happens.
No, but we should make a note that it would be really, really fun for any of them to try this with a musical that features maybe her starring as Mohammed. I've seen some of the comments in the chat. Let's as a matter of fact, I say take it on the road and do it in Saudi Arabia. let's see how it's handled over there.
Or my favorite, bring that sucker to Florida. Please. Please bring it to Florida. As a matter of fact, bring it to Putnam County. That's what I would love to see y'all try to do this.
Ouch. Yeah, no, that's never going to happen.
Not going to work. Not going to work. Not going to work. But going from one doofus to the next thing, which is yet again another example of how Hollywood does not get what the political climate is and will not pass up a chance to thumb their nose at you. Tom Hanks, who does the voice of who does he do the voice for in Toy Story again?
Woody
the Cowboy. This is Woody the Cowboy here on Saturday Night Live. The 5th.
That's often his brother, though.
Really?
His brother does the voice of Woody a lot, like video games and a lot. Like there's a lot of voiceover. If they need ADR, they always bring his brother in. His brother does the voice a lot because they sound almost exactly alike.
I think I prefer his brother after seeing this nonsense. Check it out.
Oh, well, thank you. Hey, now speaking of church, can I say something? If more folks went to church, we wouldn't be in this mess we're in now.
You know what? I agree with you, Doug. I'd like to shake your hand, sir. Here we go.
No.
Oh, no.
Like that.
Oh, no. It's just a handshake. Yeah, it's just a handshake. Yeah, all right. You're welcome to Black Jeopardy anytime.
All right. Well, thank you, my brother. Maybe I'll start a show for you to come on, and we'll call it White Jeopardy.
No, we don't need it.
Oh, well, thank you. Hey, now speaking.
Now, here's the thing about if
he's
you've
doing
ever
a horrible impersonation of me.
If you've ever seen the Black Jeopardy skit on Saturday Night Live, they always have like 2 black contestants and one white guy. And the thing is, it's like you don't think they really know what they're doing, but turns out they actually do know what they're doing and what they're saying. So that's why it makes it so funny. But to paint put MAGA aside, because I am not MAGA. Put aside the fact that most of the country voted for Trump, and you're going to make a caricature of a white male. Let me put it this way. Let me be more specific because we know exactly who it is that they're talking about. White Southern male who voted for Trump. And you make him out to be a racist because he won't quote unquote won't shake a black man's hand. Are you freaking serious? And do you know how many minorities voted for Trump? And you think this crap is funny?
This was what was the statistic given? Not since 1968 had minorities been so little divided as far as their who they voted for. Like he won a huge majority of the minority vote. Not the majority, but I mean, it was like there was less divide between minorities as far as their vote was concerned than any election since 1968, I think. And I could be off. I just heard the statistic a little bit earlier, and but it makes a lot of sense. But this it's still this is pathetic. I mean, Tom Hanks is getting pathetic, and it was funny because we were watching this on the Pro Show earlier, and they were showing clips of where he had done that same character, like in 2015 or 2016. And the funny thing to me is just how much this man has aged in the last 8-9 years compared to President Trump, who somehow is now on his second presidency and still doesn't look like he's aged a whole lot since 2015. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
But Tom Hanks is, he's been through a lot. And remind me again. What was his first role again?
Was that Forrest Gump?
No.
Is that it? Which
Bosom
one?
Buddies.
Oh,
a role he could never play today. No, that's where he got his start, is pretending to be a woman, and not in the transgender sense, but him and his buddy needed to cross-dress to save money on rent. They lied to get into a woman's building to save money on rent. Can you imagine the blowback that would get in today's world?
Totally. And Mark, that you make a very good point. Blame the writer. Tom's just playing a role. He's
been caught saying a lot of things. I mean, pretty nasty things about Trump and conservatives. So I get he's playing a role, but there's plenty of video footage of him talking smack against MAGA. So he was very much welcoming the role because it was echoing his beliefs anyways.
Yeah. Very, very, very well said. And it went over like a lead balloon, because that's not what's funny about Black Jeopardy. The funny thing about Black Jeopardy is a white person that they have there, and they think that they're not going to win, but they wind up like being quite the contestant. That's what makes it funny. But go see Dave Chappelle's skit. What was it? I Know Black People. So instead of Black Jeopardy, they did one. I Know Black People. It was funny.
Keenan. What's Keenan's last name? The host, the guy that plays the host there. Keenan something.
Oh, I'm drawing a blank.
Is he the longest running cast member in SNL history? Because he's been there for like 20-25 years now, hasn't he? It just feels like he's been on the show forever, longer than any other cast.
Shogi says Kenan Thompson.
Kenan Thompson, yes. Kenan Thompson, is he can somebody find that out, Google it or something, and see if he's the longest running cast member? Because he just seems like, it's such a safe job for him. I'm saying this because I'm pointing out that he doesn't seem to have any other chops than doing Saturday Night Live. He did that Fat Albert movie. I don't think it went over that great, even though I kind of liked it. But I haven't, he's not been a breakout star from Saturday Night Live. At Saturday Night Live, it had so many breakout stars, right? Like Adam Sandler's and Mike Myers, and they all, break out and break away from this. And he just seems like Just
Arlene
hanging. Yeah,
says, yeah, he's been there the longest. The other thing
been
to
on there
remember
forever.
is that Keenan was making a lot of that Nickelodeon money.
Yeah, that's what he was. He was on an SNL type show on Nickelodeon before this.
Before that.
You gotta love it when you're good at the one thing and you just stick to that. You're like Jay Leno on the Tonight Show. He just did it forever, and then
there's no need. It's like there's no need to change. But I will say this: it seems like whenever somebody's a breakout star on SNL and they start making movies, they get fired. Go back and watch that Adam Sandler skit. Was like, I got fired. I got fired. And that's exactly what happens. It's uncanny. They call it the SNL curse. Aldo's journal says also, if he didn't enjoy playing the role, he could have rejected it. He's rich and won't cost him a dime to say no. The thing is, he actually agrees with the sentiment, which is why he accepted. And that's where
Exactly.
where Erica was going with that. So yeah, Saturday Night Live continues to not be funny. You know what, Aldo? I think he was, because people were trying to get quotes from him from Quiet on the Set. It's disturbing, but honestly, you need to watch it to see exactly what was going on. And every time I see that, I'm like, I thank God I did not let Camera Girl get into that, because we had casting agents coming after me and saying she should be in the business. She loves acting, but I was just like, oh no, heck no, not out here. Hey, Ron's mom, how you doing? How you doing? Starlina is here. And yes, Kel was always the funny one of the two. Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. How may I help you? I remember that. That was freaking funny. Oh, it was funny. Well, to switch to something that is not funny, that makes me really, really annoyed. Yes, Arlene, I remember that. I remember that. That was so darn funny. Oh my gosh. Hey, Dylan.
Hi, Dylan.
And hi to Marilyn, and hi to 134 of you out here. So thank you so much for being here. Oh, John Z, I got plenty. We are just getting warmed up. Now, we're going to talk about this because, yes, my gaming rig I'm still waiting on the part to get here. I think they got to ship it from Singapore or something. But I have downloaded the game Marvel Rivals. I played the tutorial. It was smoking. I loved the gameplay. I was playing as the Punisher. Dang, it was cool. I was amazed at how fun this game was. A lot more fun than Fortnite. I will die on that hill. So this news shocked me, but when I thought about it, it didn't shock me. So here we go from Dextero.com. Marvel Rivals lays off entire U.S. office and game director despite success. So here we go. By Carver Fisher. Marvel Rivals developer NetEase, which is a Chinese company, has laid off most of the game's team in the U.S., including its director. They've chosen to cut down their workforce by laying off their entire Seattle office. So apparently,
were they funded by USAID?
I don't think so.
No.
You know why? Because if you see it's good, and if you see the character designs, you know ain't no USAID money touch that. Besides, China's like, we got our own money. Just saying. Well, apparently, Rivals has been praised for its transparency from its developers, with many team members in China doing their absolute best to give the community updates on the game and insight into their balance changes. Now, I 100% agree with this. Because Disney Dreamlight Valley, which I've stopped playing because that game gets on my freaking nerves now for how much they want, how little you get. You hardly get any information or transparency at all. They still won't say exactly how they score the daggone dream snaps. But Infinity Nikki, which is free to play, truly free to play, they got updates coming up like every other day. If like an update doesn't complete on time, you wind up getting free in-game transaction tokens and stuff. It's insanely crazy. But then again, I think Black Wukong was another game that was like that. That's also Chinese. But here's the darn thing. So the director, who's over here on LinkedIn, well, actually, he's the designer. He says, "Hey, folks, well, just got laid off from my job working on Marvel Rivals with NetEase. It was an enormous pleasure to work with my American coworkers who joined me in this sad culling. Just couldn't dodge the big boot, I guess, no matter how big the success of the gig." So obviously, he's looking for support. And I thought it was cool that his director or his boss was basically like, "Hey, he's a good guy. I think you should hire him." So I thought that was pretty cool that he went and that he wouldn't mention, excuse me, to like get people to say, "Hey, dude needs a job. Let's network. Let's help him out." So that was pretty cool that he wound up and he did that. But I've seen some people or some sites say that they don't understand why these people got fired when this game was doing so well. And my answer to that is they were an R&D team. And in the world of software development, which I've been in, it is not uncommon that a team that did a whole heck of a lot of work getting stuff up and running will get cut because they figure they don't need you anymore and they can have it done cheaper elsewhere. Disney did this with their IT. With a lot of their IT people, they had gotten FastPass running, FastPass Plus up and running, all the other systems running. Disney IT used to run like a well-oiled machine with a couple of hiccups. For the most part, it was running really good. They bring all the people in there and they think, "Hey, we've done a great job. We're probably going to get, like recognition from everybody, maybe a bonus. I don't know." That's when they brought in. Disney said, "Y'all are getting fired, laid off, and you have to train your Indian offshore replacements."
I remember that. That was not a good time.
And I think they're suing Disney too. But in this case, it seemed like their job was over for the most part, especially if they're research and development. So if they've done enough up front that the developers in China can take over, especially if they're younger and cheaper, not surprised. Not surprised. It's sad, but that's why no matter how much the game makes, usually it's not about the revenue, but it's about how they want to cut costs. And why should you pay a American developer? I mean, you need the expertise, which is probably why they paid for the R&D up front to begin with. But to keep it running, they don't really need you. And they can do it cheaper. So unfortunately, let them go. Chef Nation says this is a good thing. The US devs weren't doing their job getting tournaments, and some of them were getting players banned for no reason. Really? Oh, well, that sucks. I hadn't even heard about that. Dang. That's messed up if they were doing that. It's nuts. Hey Pam. Nah, if you're a dev, you should not be going there and doing that, just banning people. I mean, it sucks when people lose their jobs, but if y'all were effing that up, Plus, the new map looks banging. Oh, When is the rival stream? I'm ready to play with my girl. I can't play nothing until my replacement AIO gets shipped back to me, since it died and NZXT was like, no, that's not supposed to happen. So I'm waiting for my replacement to get here. And then when it gets here, I got to make sure everything else works. But as soon as I can get that back up and running, we going to play. Because dang, I love playing it for that short amount of time I got to play it, especially with my graphics card. It was hot. It was hot. You get a pink slip, you get a pink slip, you get a pink slip. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately. Oh, dang. Woo! Really? Really? Yeah. Yeah, I tell you. It looks gorgeous. So I understand why people love playing it, because I was ready to play it. I was mad I didn't get to go back and play it. But yeah, unfortunately, that's the deal. So, yeah, I can't say learn the code this time. It's just, move on to the next thing. So I don't know if they were full-time employees or if they were contractors, because if they're contractors, they can let you go first. So there's that. So that just sucks. But dropping in to something else that is quite interesting. We're almost done with the hot topics. Captain America Brave New World box office spun by Access Media's victory, but actual numbers tell the real story. And this is from Marvin Montero over at that Park Place. Please do go and check them out. If you've seen some of the headlines, especially Deadline, they're all like rah-rah, like this is great, Captain America Brave New World is making all this money, $100 million. They made domestic 100 and I think 92 domestic. International. And they're making it like it's this big thing. I went to the movies and saw it, and there was only 6 people in the darn theater.
It's funny. Anthony Mackie showed up at Disney Springs, and for the 9:30 p.m. showing at the AMC Theater there at Disney Springs, and they must have figured out which crowd was going to be the busiest for him, because even in the theater he showed it up in on opening night, I noticed from the footage it wasn't completely sold out. there were some empty seats there in the crowd, and I thought that may not be the best look ever. And they must have gone through. They must have said, "We need you to show up. That we're going to, put you in the busiest one, obviously, because people are going to film this." But it was really nice, because he went down front and the first thing he said is, "Look, guys, I want everybody to know, I know this is going out to the public. I want to apologize for the comment that I made about Captain America not being oh, no, wait, he didn't apologize."
No. He walked in eating popcorn out of his, the popcorn bucket, which
and
is
throwing
pretty
it
much
on
got
people.
for free. 100% the people in that theater were cast members. That's what I'm thinking, because they looked all too freaking happy to be there.
They were probably given it. I'm sure an email was sent out, and you know how that goes.
You better go in there and pack that freaking theater and put a smile on your darn face. Yeah, here's the thing about the numbers, and this is how I know it was complete BS. So going back over here, because they kept saying, "Oh, well, it's it made more money than Captain America, the first, I think, no, Captain America, the Winter Soldier."
Oh, no.
I'm like, that movie came out in 2014. 2, tickets were cheaper. 3, if you adjust that for inflation, it still made money. Way over.
It wasn't 5 days either.
No.
And a lot of people forget that when they first started doing those Thursday night previews, a long time ago, before the 2000, I think it was 2008 incident with the Batman movie, there was a bad incident at a midnight showing. So that was 2008 when they did the preview showing. It literally had to take place at midnight on Friday, so it could be like that's how the movies worked. And then there was that incident that happened, and then they bumped the movies up to where they started previewing it at 7 p.m. on Thursday. It's only been recently that it's literally shown all day on Thursday. So now you have all day Thursday, also Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday in that 100 million figure. So you have 5 days built into the figure. It's not finalized yet, and by the time it is finalized, it will probably go down. It probably won't be a full $100 million. They're just using it now because this is the day after President's Day. This is the day people are paying attention to the news. And so they know if they put out that 100 million figure now, people go, oh, it made money. Maybe it's good. They're literally talking to, they know they're talking to the people that are not dialed in. Like, people that are dialed in know that that is the biggest crack of BS in the world.
Completely, especially given how, when you can look, because you can look online. Like, I have Regal, so you pretty much Regal, Fandango, whatever. You can see how full the theater is going to be for each showing. This one, like I said, I went.
Empty.
5 other people there, outside of me.
What time did you go? Did you go on Thursday?
I went on Thursday. I went like at 3:50.
So
I thought it was just that show, but I checked that whole preview night.
That whole preview night. So 2:00 in the afternoon is when I went. The early showing. Lorraine and I live very close to each other for context, and we did go to different theaters, but both the theaters we go to are normally, popular theaters. They get their crowds in the right movies, right? So I went to the very first showing. It was at 2:00 in the afternoon, and there was almost nobody in the theater, except because when I picked out my seat, the day before, and there were no tickets sold at all. So of course I picked out the best seat in the house, right in the middle, smack in the middle, right? So I picked that seat out, and of course 2 people had to sit right next to me because it was the best seat out. Anyway, so there were very nice people. A very nice couple was sitting next to me, and so there was the 3 of us, and I think there were maybe 4 other people in the whole theater, so like 7 total, right? So I turned to the gentleman after the movie because I see he's not, we're similar ages, right? Adult, and his wife or girlfriend or whoever, she's all decked out in all the Captain America Falcon type stuff, and she's got the backpack on. She's into it, right? She's there to be a fan, and so I'm like, okay, these are the people to ask about it. And I asked him, like, well, so what'd you think of it? And he turns to me and goes, yeah. Like that. That was like his literal response. Yeah, it was okay. I'm like, and it's just these people they're not there for the reason I was. I went to see it because I needed to review it. They're there because they're fans. They want this to be a good movie. They want, this is Marvel that's supposed to have, and for them to go, they kind of didn't know what they just watched. This movie was such a Frankenstein monster.
Oh, I know what they watched. What they watched was a mediocre, was a bad. Well, put it this way: it was a mid movie that should have went out on streaming, but it was an absolutely abysmal Marvel movie. There is no comparison between this movie and Captain America, the first Captain America movie. All right. Or even go back and watch The Winter Soldier. The quality is streets ahead. of this one. And the fact that Disney has the audacity to think we should continue to pay money for a film with a lazy ass plot, horrible CGI for a lot of reasons because they don't want to pay people. Just an absolute mishmash mess that you expect for people to go and watch a darn miniseries on Disney Plus, okay, in order to keep up with what's going on. It's just nuts. But
this is a sequel to what? Like, this is a sequel to Hulk 2008. It's a sequel to the Eternals. It's a sequel to Falcon and Winter Soldier, and it also is just convoluted and makes no sense. By the way, Anthony Mackie, his character has zero character growth. This is a Thaddeus Ross movie. Period. You cannot watch this and not say this. This is a he is the only character in this entire movie that actually gets character growth and character development. And the sad part about that is it's not William Hurt, which I know it can't be. And that's, it's tragic because, he knocked it out of the park in the role of Thaddeus Ross. And every time that he was on screen as Thaddeus Ross, he knocked it out of the park. So it was really sad to me that he couldn't have done I would have loved to have seen this movie, but as a follow-up to the Hulk without Captain America of any kind in it, but with the Incredible Hulk in it, and it would have made sense, I would say, in maybe around the year 2015 as a Hulk follow-up. But there's so much in this movie that doesn't make any sense now because you're like, what's the point?
And again, you're right. And I said this in my review. We saw no character growth for
Captain Falcon.
For Falcon. We didn't see anything from Sam Wilson. I was hoping that Brown Falcon was going to kick the bucket because at least that would have had some darn stakes and possibly generated some character growth. But it didn't happen. But getting back to the this is how Brave New World's 88 million 3-day opening against a list of MCU failures. The results are mixed at best. I knew it was going to make more money than the Marvels. I knew it. I will say this much. As much as the Marvels was Slumber Party in Space, at least it had somewhat of a coherent plot. I could excuse that. The Eternals, that was a crappy movie. That's the first Marvel movie. When I saw the preview, I said, there's no way in hell I'm going to go see it. Then when it showed up on Disney Plus, I only watched 10 minutes because it was so freaking horrible.
It's an awful movie.
It was just nuts. And Ant-Man and Quantumania, that was just god awful. Just the worst. And I'm like,
Thor
really?
Thor the Dark World was in here, but Thor Love and Thunder was
oh Lord, that was horrible too. That was unwatchable. I mean, out of all of these movies in here, I mean, I don't even think Iron Man 2 should be in there because I freaking liked Iron Man 2. If anything,
I
for
like
the
Dark
scene
World.
in Congress, that's what I'm like. You can't have the suit.
I will defend Thor the Dark World because the Loki Thor banter in that movie is hilarious. It is they really developed the brotherly relationship of Loki and Thor. The villain sucked. Okay, the plot wasn't great, but it was so much more fun to watch than Thor Love and Blunder. I mean,
that was horrible. God. That was horrible. It never should have been made, but Taika Waititi should not ever direct another Marvel movie freaking ever. But you look at how much they're talking about, how much money Brave New World made compared to all of this, and the fact that there really isn't that much competition. And here's something I'm going to show you before we get to our main topic. Okay, so this is the weekend domestic chart from the numbers. Okay. You've got Captain America, Brave New World, grossed about 90 million. Paddington in Peru. I still have to see that. I just like Paddington. So that came out this week. obviously on less screens. 12 million for that one. Hard Eyes, I have no freaking idea what that is. But here's what I want y'all to see. Dog Man, been out 4 weeks, okay? Its gross for Freak 4 was like 9.8 million. It has already made 67 million dollars.
I can't imagine it had much of a budget either, because I saw it. It was fun, good movie.
Yeah, it didn't have that large of a budget. It's pretty much made its money back by now. But that's like a family film that has a lot of rewatchability from what people are telling me. I haven't seen it yet. I want to.
It was fun. We saw it with my son, of course, a huge dog man. If you're a fan of the books, I mean, and he was telling me, I remember when that happened in the book and this and that, and it's for me as a parent, I'm like, wait, you cut a dog's head off when you put it on a guy's body. I'm like, it's really convoluted to me, but it's funny. It's funny and it's fun, and I think that's going to be one of those movies that is cool as a parent. You can put on for your kids at home when it's on streaming and they can watch it all day long. You know, your kid's going to watch this thing 5 times in a day and he's going to keep it on replay. That movie is going to make a lot of money over time. Plus it also brings more attention back to the Dogman books and people buy those. And there's a nice circle of profit that happens in a movie like Dogman, whereas Captain America Brave New World, are they gonna have the Celestial Island kit play set where you can pretend
I'm sorry, I can't. It had to pose like that Australian breakdance in the Olympics.
What's this, mommy? What's the stick sticking up in the middle down from where his face is? It's his thumb, dear. It's his thumb. I promise.
I just couldn't. That movie.
The dumbest thing ever. And by the way, that is such I think personally, I find it to be an insult to comic book fans that's the way they're choosing to bring adamantium into this universe.
Yes, it's like they think that we don't know what adamantium is. We've seen it. We know Wolverine has adamantium claws and an adamantium skeleton. So what the heck is going on here? But as someone also explained it to me, is that's a Fox thing. So they have to redo it and basically say, hey, you discovered adamantium. I'm like, really? Do you not know how off that's going to sound if you're a comic book fan?
Also, adamantium in its raw state is a liquid. Adamantium is a liquid because in its raw state, and you have to keep it a liquid because the moment it hardens, you can't ever get it back. It won't melt again. It's a crazy it's I don't know. It's just they're so dumb. It's frustrating me. It's like when I saw some of the plot points of this movie, I'm like, you know what? This movie could have been dumbed down to the last 5 minutes. Also, can we talk about how bad the leader was? If he's so good at all those probabilities, he probably would have won the day at the end, and he won. It's just that was dumb. And also, I just like to point out that as much as we heard talk about them trying to maybe use this movie as an anti-Trump kind of a thing, I felt so much that Harrison Ford played this role kind of like Biden. Because either he wasn't doing a good job of acting or he was just phoning it in or whatever, but he just kind of seemed to be semi-lost.
Oh, he was cranky. The reports that I've heard from the set is that Harrison Ford acted like he would rather be somewhere else. And that's when I saw that performance, I'm just like, it's the same performance that he gave for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Dude looked pissed off that he had to be there, and it just took me out of the darn movie. So it's just not.
Do you remember? Okay, so there's one particular one particular scene where I really felt like I don't know if they were trying to make him like Biden or what, but do you remember that scene where he's on the exercise bicycle?
Yeah, the Peloton.
Right, he's on the Peloton and he says, "No, oh, it's 5. I did 5 miles and not 3." To me, that was that was synonymous where they're showing Biden on the bike, but he fell off. And like that happened in real life. Remember, like Biden was riding a bike and he fell off, and that like went viral. I'm like, are they trying to show he's like Biden? I mean, like,
no.
I mean, I don't know that they did it on purpose, but boy, in my head, I'm going, he was a very not a good president. Like he just wasn't doing it. And I mean, he couldn't even facilitate a treaty with Japan. Give me a break.
Here was my other thing. Okay, William Hurt, God rest his soul. Okay, Thaddeus Ross was a complete asshole, but he was pretty likable as an asshole. So I had no problem. I actually liked the character, but the way that Harrison Ford played it, I'm just like, no. And in the end, they. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Erica.
I was going to say, sounds like there's a pattern. Did it ever occur
just
to
like Indiana
anyone?
Jones.
Maybe it's his age, and I know the older we get, the less patience we tend to have, regardless of dementia factors or not. But we do tend to get short once you reach 60 and you're getting into your upper 60s and then you're getting into your 70s. I notice a big shift in people where their patience is just not there. And if he's working with younger generation actors and then add that the sets are just full of people and there's a lot of buzz going on, I imagine these sets are really busy. There's just only so much you can take at that age. And I guess the attitude just came through. I mean, this is coming from someone who's worked in nursing homes and has cared for the elderly. And yeah, to Mark Dolly's point in the chat, it was an earlier one.
If he didn't want to be there,
Yeah, if
why
he
did
didn't want to be there.
Why to take the job? Who knows? Who knows? It could have been that Disney made it worth his while one way or another. Who knows what the heck?
It could be
Kevin Feige said, who knows, what
any number of factors.
Tiger
You
said.
know,
It could
there's
be,
like,
yeah.
you know, just because you make millions of dollars doesn't mean you have millions of dollars. You know, there's that factor. Or maybe he's just bored and lonely and it gives him something to do. Because like I said, when we get older, there's that part of it too, where you feel like you have no purpose in life. And that's a big thing in the elderly community when we get to our senior citizen years. So, you know, I kind of feel for the guy because it sounds like when he was younger, he was quite different. But I mean, that's to be expected, you know.
True.
We have more patience when we're younger.
I agree. But yes, I do agree. They tried to tone it, they tried to dial it back, but no, it was very obvious that they were making Thaddeus Ross an analogy for Trump. The short temper, they wanted to make that Hulk.
Yeah, but Biden has a short temper. That's my problem with it. When he was getting angry, he very much came across just the same way that Biden comes across when he gets angry. Like when I was watching, because Trump's really not like that. Like he doesn't have a short temper.
It's not.
The way it played, it felt very Biden to me. The way it played.
What I would say is that it's the caricature of Trump. This is what we have to remember when we're talking about this. It's not how he actually is. It's the caricature that they make him out to be. And
it's their perception of him.
Exactly. It's his perception. If you see like a lot of
his perception of him came across like Biden to me.
And I really didn't see.
There's a difference between
Biden at all, because at the end they had dude in prison
Which is where
coverall.
Biden should be.
And that's where they wanted to put Trump. That's the other thing I want to say. That's where they wanted to put Trump. They kept saying they wanted to have him locked up and all of that, but it was still obvious that that's what they were doing. But this film, I tell you, this is that's right. Isn't he married to Callista Flockhart? The skinny chick from Ally McBeal?
Trophy wives are expensive.
Yeah, he got to keep that up. She probably said, "You better go and take that job. Shoot, you got to help me raise this kid." Well, folks, 154 of you guys here watching tonight. I so do appreciate it. Here to our main topic, coming from Breitbart. There's a reason I'm bringing this up. Disney's latest sneak peek for Snow White starring Rachel Zegler gets 84K dislikes in just 2 days. So props to Breitbart. They actually credited that Park Place for bringing this up first. Let's see how much it is now. And let's actually watch this trailer. I may get copyright claimed. Who knows? But we'll see.
When I was a little girl, my mother taught me how to whistle because when you whistle, it's your heart singing.
Can I just say, I really do not remember in the Brothers Grimm version, nor in the animated version, that Snow White's mother taught her how to whistle, because Snow White's mother was dead by the time she would have learned that. I just wanted to point that out.
Mm-hmm.
Catch that fairy too. Magic mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest of them all?
You.
Snow White. From Disney.
Find Snow White. This could be so much fun.
I was thinking the same thing.
I close my eyes.
On March 21st.
The girl I'm meant to be. Is she a
The magical
I had
movie event arrives.
Point me in the right direction.
Disney's Snow White. Only in theaters March 21st. Rated PG.
Can I point out it has 121K. Wait. Let me refresh it. 121 downvotes. Let's see what it's up to now. 125K downvotes to 5K upvotes.
Wow. You know, one of two things is going to happen. Either this movie is going to do well because people are just out of sheer curiosity want to see it for how bad it is, or two, it's just going to flop miserably. It's to one extreme to the other, which is why I'm really on the fence as to how well is it really going to do, because there's so much hate going towards it. It kind of makes you wonder if even that negative publicity may turn into, money for Disney.
I really think it's going to be the case like Strange World, for people not wanting to see it. Rachel Zegler, her mouth has run so much. I can't even see people really want to try to like hate watch this, because it's not. I mean, like, for example, Mufasa. Okay, you didn't really see the voice actors that much going out there saying stuff, but I think she has poisoned this brand so much. Myself personally, I asked Camera Girl. She was like, no, don't want to see it. Even though I have to watch it to review it, again, as someone who grew up reading the Snow White story from Brothers Grimm, also watching the cartoon, the 1937 animated feature, watching that and just loving that movie. That's what I remember. I don't know who this chick is who I guess thinks she's John Valjean from Les Mis. They're changing the story. We don't have the little people playing the seven dwarves. We've got 7 CGI monstrosities that all look the same. There's
It's
no
mostly a
differentiation.
CGI movie with a few humans. It's like Roger Rabbit, except it's not 2D animation interacting with, humans.
It's
I'm just gonna stick with my book.
oh, I have that book.
I don't know if I have that. Oh, I got this note.
I don't know. I think it disappeared, but I did. I had the little golden book.
They're invisible. That's cool.
But so many kids remember that and they know the story, and this does not look the same. And again, to show how lazy they are with the CGI, usually when there's different characters, each character has a team assigned to that particular character. So it has specific characteristics. Not in this case. So thank you, Peter Dinklage, for being such a freaking jerk. And you took jobs for 7 little people away because you just wanted it to just be you.
Can I just also say how wonderful this book is? I'm reading from it. Says, this is how it ends. Finally, he came upon Snow White. He lifted the heavy glass lid. My beautiful Snow White, at last I have found you, he whispered. Then he kissed the sleeping princess. Snow White opened her eyes. The spell was broken, and she immediately said, now I want everybody to know that I gave consent, and that was implied when I was singing the song about someday my prince will come. Implied consent. So just everybody be cool with the whole consent part of this thing. I just want you to know. And then, then it goes on. And they went to the castle and lived happily ever after. As a couple. Imagine that. Isn't that weird for like a man and a woman to get together, fall in love, and become a couple? How strange.
That's been the point of every soap opera that I've grown up watching. I'm sorry. You're going to go away from that format to this. CJ says, I said it before The Little Mermaid come out. This is going to be the biggest Disney disaster ever. Little girls want to go see a movie where the prince and the princess fall in love, live happily ever after. Okay, that's pretty much what they want to see. Disney does not want to show that because they have a problem with heterosexual relationships between men and women. That relationship factor is pulled out. And when you do that, and then you basically make the Disney princes impotent, the whole princess franchise fails.
I mean, look how they wrote Frozen. I mean, I know that Anna got, a prince, but for the most part, the whole love story was, it was a familial love, family love. They have yet to give Elsa, a male love interest, but we all know why they're refusing to do that, because they wanted to give her a female love partner.
That's why the Princess Bride will always reign supreme.
I have a feeling they're going to keep holding out on that, holding out until, quote, the time is right, and now is the time. It's like Disney really thinks, and hey, in our lifetime, anything could happen. Just because right now the conservative pendulum is swinging this way, look, guys, it could easily swing really hard, down the road. I don't know, but I'm enjoying the ride now, but we all know, especially as Christians, eventually it's going to get worse before it gets better. So just hang on to that.
Absolutely. I like this. Remember, she don't need no prince to save her, so we're going to let her die, and I'm good with it. Yes. Yes.
I thought she was the prince. Isn't she Prince Farquaad?
No, does she? Farquaad.
She does look like Farquaad. She really does.
Oh, it's freaking horrible. Horrible. That service dog, I know of absolutely no one who even has this on their radar. That is correct. Same here. Much less looking forward to watching in real life. This is the current state of Disney. This was once unheard of. Absolutely. It used to be Disney put out an animated movie or a movie in general, and it pretty much made a respectable amount of money, but it had stories that people wanted to see. And I don't see people anxious about this film. I think we're like what, a month away? I have seen zero merchandise for this film.
Here's a sad part about this. This
you're right.
This should be a desirable Disney film to watch, and very much could have been. Okay, if first of all, if they would have written the story along, the storyline that it's supposed to be, which they clearly didn't do. The actress, if even Rachel Zegler, if she would have just kept her mouth shut the whole time, I think that might have been okay. But I mean, she created a backlash that literally caused them to have to go back and reshoot the whole damn film. Like, how one actress creates a backlash where you have to reshoot the entire film? I mean, there's some things about her. The girl can sing, not great, but she can belt. I mean, I guess, or whatever the heck that is. And she doesn't come across like Snow White. She doesn't have that sweet, high-pitched, demure, innocent voice. She's got the whole girl boss aura about her. The dwarves as CGI monstrosities look absolutely awful. They definitely should have been like the dwarfs in Once Upon a Time. Is that the name of the show, the television show that Disney did?
Yeah.
Okay. So the dwarves were fantastic in that show, right? I mean, they were real people. They weren't even I don't even know that they were necessarily dwarfs, other than they were just short. But Grumpy was fantastic. I loved watching him in that show. I think, and I can't remember what his real name was in the town, but I think he did a great job. And I think that this could have been a $1 billion box office blockbuster if it had been handled right. I have never seen a company take a property like Snow White, that is a gold property, right, and ruin it so much. I mean, it's like, when you think about the fact that it's the Disney company ruining their film like this is literally unprecedented, other than maybe in the last 5 years. It's so
But that's
crazy.
just it. They find anything that's traditional and of traditional values that offensive. And it doesn't matter how, Rachel, how she said it. The fact that she let the cat out of the bag as to what they were doing with the story alone would have tanked this film. I've said it before, it's a twofold situation here. You have the actress who, it was what she said and how she said it, but then Disney, they don't get a free pass here either. They're the ones that chose to change the content of the story. So, we can sit here and dog on her all we want, but they're both equally at fault for the failure of this movie.
Disney
because
cast
it's so
her for that
offensive
reason.
to their core audience, the family unit. They've pissed off every heterosexual family out there, and I hate to bust your balls here, Disney, but guess what? That's kind of how the world works. I'm sorry, but all these feminists and all this, as you put it, Lorena, Skittles Nation people, like, that is how much of a minority these groups are. You're trying to cater to. In the meantime, the big wallet is over here, who's actually, procreating kids one generation to the other without having to go to a freaking sperm bank, or get myself knocked up somehow. I mean,
it makes me wonder if you go to the break room If you go to the break room at the Disney Studios in Burbank, their candy machine is it just all Skittles in the candy machine?
Taste the rainbow.
Might be Skittles and condoms, because God forbid anybody procreate in that company.
Probably not that far off. But to go back to your point, yes, Disney is definitely on the hook for this because they didn't have to hire this Rachel Zegler, but you know why they did it? Because Spielberg pushed it. And Iger gave into it, and they knew this chick was poison. She hasn't had one successful film at all, and they still cast her in this. So
they wanted to make her successful. They were pushing her to the front.
Yes, they're trying to make that
she fucking
happen,
ruined it.
and it is. It's ruined. It's ruined with her, number one. Two, with going so far off the reservation and away from the source material. What they're doing with Snow White is the same thing that they did with Star Wars and the same thing that they did with Marvel. Make no mistake. That's exactly what they're doing. So they're getting away from, people wanting to go to the movies to, see happy, positive, relationships between men and women. I mean, as goofy as the Despicable Me movies are, look at how that progressed. First, it was Gru who adopted these 3 girls for ulterior motives, but he came to love these girls and would do anything for them. The second movie, he's like a single father, and he meets, he meets Lucy. They start dating. The third movie, they wind up getting married. The fourth movie, they have a kid together, and they're this big, huge, happy, blended family. And he's happy to be a father. Lucy is happy to be a stepmother and a mom. And the minions in there, too. And that's the kind of thing that people want to see. That's the kind of thing that foreign cinema does so well, which is why Netflix is getting so many K-dramas and stuff, because they do it differently. They know that's what sells. And Disney just wants to cater to 1% of the audience and isn't going to go support their crap. Anyway, I just can't with this. I really can't. They had the chance to make something. They had a chance to make something Cinderella live action level. I loved the Cinderella live action.
Good movie.
That dress, holy crap!
They nailed even though they wrote it a little bit differently, with a little twist in the story, but it was still the Cinderella story. It did not take away from the whole base line of the story. And I actually rewatched that movie a lot because I love that Cinderella. And I honestly thought that all of the other live actions to come down the pipeline were going to be like that. That was going to be well put together, and the stories, I expected the stories to have a little bit of tweaks and changes, so it translates better to live action than animation. But damn,
and then Beauty and the Beast came out, and you're like, why is Gaston gay?
that really pissed me off, because visually it was a gorgeous movie and the costuming was great. But the messaging was so in your face. They weren't even being subtle about it.
No.
The homosexual undertones and even the trans were there. And it was,
absolutely.
I mean, maybe I was pissed. I was like, such a waste, because visually it was a piece of art, but the story was just, I don't know. It was
the auto tune on Hermione wasn't exactly on point either.
Oh, it was horrible.
Hermione Bell is not the right Bell.
Nah. But that service dog is right. The Cinderella live action respected the source material. That is the main difference. And that's why it was such a hit and kind of like a fake out, because we're just like to think that they're all going to be like this. And it turns out, that they're not. And it was just a hot freaking mess. But speaking of hot messes, but not really, Ron, you gotta run, my dear.
I gotta get my Benadryl is kicking in.
I know how that goes. It's like, let me sign
It
off
don't make you
before I
hyper,
face
does it?
plant.
Yeah. But anyway, thank you so much for having me tonight. I appreciate that. And Erica and Lorena, two of my favorite ladies in the world, outside of my absolute favorite lady, my wife, Virginia Bradley. I think she's in the chat somewhere. My beautiful wife.
Yes, she is.
Hi, Virginia.
And thank you so much. And we will see you back here next week.
Yes,
So,
indeed. Yes, indeed.
more
Thanks,
spicy
Ron.
takes.
Always great hanging with you.
Have a good night.
Well, I will have the link to Ron's channel in the description box after the show is over. Make sure you go over there and subscribe to Ron. So, first of all, 160 of you people watching between YouTube and X. So thank you so much. Please hit that like button. Please heart the stream over on X. So are we ready to look at some of the comments?
Oh, I haven't even seen that. Not on this
Oh,
video. Oh man. You're gonna get real reactions from me now.
woo! Let's see. Here we go.
I have to blow it up. I can't see anything.
Let's see. Yeah, I
Hang on.
get you. I got you. I got you. Let's see.
I can't find my glasses.
End of the movie should be Gal Gadot and the prince live happily ever after. I'm up from that sucker. Never in my entire life that I want the villain in this movie to win so much. Yep. Because that's exactly how I feel. And kind of how I felt in Captain America Brave New World. I wanted the villains to win. And that's usually wrong when I want something like that to happen. Oh, go in, Shogi. Thank you so much for gifting that one Reina Creole membership. It looks like Monster Huntress Rune got that membership. So let's see. I'm trying to figure out which one I'm gonna do. Oh, I do this one.
And finally, I want to scream, and I'm like, why are they replacing every single character with someone who is diverse? But then Kenny's like, it's not our fault, it's because of Kathleen Kennedy.
Best South Park show. Okay, second, because the end of Obesity, that was freaking hilarious. Thank you, Go and Shogi. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Let's see. Rachel Zegler. I don't need you, Prince. Prince, shut up, Farquaad. I'm here to marry real Princess Gal Gadot. Oh my gosh. That mirror is a liar. The most beautiful evil queen of all time. And let's see. I like how literally everyone wait. Oh shoot, sorry. A little too big. I like how literally everyone, including me, wants to see Gal Gadot wins and marries the prince. These are so good. Disney, it's about outer beauty. Audience, Gal Gadot wins easily. Disney, it's all about inner beauty. Audience, Gal Gadot wins more easily. You know what? And that service dog, yeah, this could have been interesting if they did the movie from the Queen's POV and we see that Snow White is the true evil one. I think that's the fan fiction that's going to play in our heads when we watch this. Because I got to watch it. I need to watch it because I'm so freaking angry about this film. I'm gonna watch it and then rip it apart piece by piece by piece. But yes,
South Park should do something like that. That'd be hilarious. Or Snow White is like a complete spoiled brat and just pissed off that her dad married at all, and she's just an impossible pain in the ass to live with. and the queen is so tender and loving and trying to be a good, friend and mom, and at every turn she just, tells her stepmom to screw off.
I hate
And
you.
by the
You're not
end,
my real mother.
she dies. She bites the apple and never wakes up.
Really? Disney ain't doing the movie right. You got that right, Rando YouTube viewer. I mean, you cannot tell me or convince me that Rachel Zegler is more beautiful than Gal Gadot. Hell to the
Oh, no.
freaking
Mm-mm.
no. Absolutely not. Heretic says best wishes to the queen. Hope she'll win this time. And let's see, Gal, if you're reading these comments, just know that you are beautiful inside and out. The real queen of this movie. We love you. Go queen. I find it interesting, and it's probably for a good reason, that Gal Gadot has not really said anything. She really doesn't have to, actually. She's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna watch this train wreck from over here. I just thought of something. What if originally they wanted Gal Gadot to play as Snow White, but instead they had their, twist their arm to put Rachel Zegler. I mean, I could get it. And Gal's a little bit older, but still,
Yeah.
it's just like, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the two of them. I'm just like, this is not gonna play right. It's
No,
not.
they needed a different actress that could. Well, I mean, I feel on the one hand, yeah, they needed a girl that could pull off the sweet, graceful Snow White we all grew up with. But clearly, Disney was not going in that direction with the way they wrote the story, which is why they chose someone like Rachel Zegler, because they wanted the warrior princess Snow White, not
You
the
know what?
actual real Snow White.
You know who they should have cast for Snow White? And this is just me, my guilty pleasure. Sydney Sweeney.
Oh, that would have worked. Black wig, or even just, yeah, I definitely would have put a wig on her. I don't think I would have dyed her hair or cut it.
Mm-mm. Yeah. Nah, yeah, make her
Yeah, she's got the innocent
$1,000
face.
wigs.
She's got the doughy eyes. I mean, I think that really would have worked. The only question is, can she sing? Because,
That's
kind of
true.
hard nowadays, I think, to find talent that's, where you're looking for a specific look and then the talent to sing and dance. That's
true.
It seems like such a tall order nowadays, when old Hollywood people just seemed more rounded in talent back in the old days
You know what?
than
That's
nowadays.
true. More than just, you had to be able to act, sing, dance, do like everything,
Mhm.
the whole package. So, like I said, just point of personal privilege, I like Sydney Sweeney. So I'm
I
just
do too.
saying.
She's a sweetheart, and she's got the perfect innocent face.
And basically told y'all, women don't stick together in Hollywood. That's a damn lie. Love her. See, they said no, they wanted a person of color to play Snow White. That's all that mattered at that point in the casting process. And yes, that is true.
Yeah. They wanted to top the
Considering
whole Hispanic thing.
they
Which is still offensive to Hispanics, because when we look at Snow White, it's Blancanieves. We're not offended at that. Like, come on.
I'm like, come on, y'all. Really? It's like, really? Really, 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 really? After watching
Oh,
you for
August Journal.
Masters of Pure
He brought up a good point. He would have cast Sydney Sweeney as Rapunzel. She would make a good Rapunzel.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I do. Yes, sing, dance, and act triple threat. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. But it all goes back to what we were saying. Snow White is supposed to have this innocence about her, this graciousness about her, this kindness about her. And if you notice in the trailer, Snow White talks to the seven dwarves like, they're her slaves or something. And she's very smug. And she was not that way in the film. She felt bad for them because it's just like, look, that place is it's a mess and all of,
Well, she
and
thought they
all
were
of that.
children
Mm-hmm.
because everything was so small. Like the tables and chairs are really small. She thought they were children that didn't have parents. So that's why she cleaned. I mean, and she was already accustomed to cleaning anyways because she was abused that way.
Yeah,
But
that's
she
true.
did it because she had a servant's heart anyways, which is
Mhm.
what made her the fairest in the land, was that she was both beautiful and humble. This other Snow White, jeez, it was just I'm not touching this. I'm not going back to the 50s. Here, I'll teach y'all how to clean. Y'all men got 2 hands and 2 feet.
It's like this spoiled heifer. There's no freaking way. I
Yeah, and
just
I was
don't.
DJ Knight.
I mean, look at
Yeah,
Cinderella. Yeah, there's that.
Cinderella. She,
Yeah.
the actress, I don't know her name, but she embodied that sweetness and humbleness. And you find that with Snow White, Cinderella, and Princess Aurora, the holy trinity of Disney princesses, the first, the 3 first. They all have the same sweetness and gracefulness about them.
And you
And
know what? That was the princess brand. Oh, Lily
Yep.
James was saying who the
Oh, that's
actress
her name.
was for live action Cinderella. She was perfectly cast. But again, like I was saying, the Disney princess brand was built on those internal qualities that the princesses had, and they would always hammer home the point, it's not what's on the outside, but it's what's on the inside that counts. The princesses, they were caring, they were graceful, they wanted them to treat themselves to other people. They even had a darn Disney book about how to be a princess and how you treat people and stuff like that. Yes, they actually used to do that, which is why I used to buy a whole bunch of freaking princess swag for Camera Girl. But that was what they were making money with.
Look at the real royal families in Europe. Look how they carry themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Look how they dress. Look how poised and graceful they are. And I get they're not perfect families, but no family is perfect. But there is that they have that those qualities that you also see in these Disney movies. I remember watching these princess movies, but then also seeing Princess Diana everywhere, in the tabloids um and I would always make those connections of, oh, princess, as a child, you're like, oh, wouldn't it be great to be a princess, to be sweet and humble, and obviously wear these gorgeous outfits and dresses. And I mean, Disney just, whoa, an attitude like that, it don't matter what dress you put on her.
You're just gonna be
Jeez.
ugly right to the bone, as Fred
Second she
Sanford
opens her mouth, all the fugly is there.
BR Geist, you hit upon something that I'm going to talk about. She says, "Hi, Lorena and Erica. Lorena, you mentioned K-dramas. Yes, girl. That's where I get my classic screwball rom-com fix since modern Hollywood refuses to be my supplier these days. You are 100% right. If you watch a K-drama rom-com or even a K-drama dramatic rom-com, my favorite,
Where do I find
She Would
those?
Never Know on Netflix. I mean, Hulu has some, but Netflix is where
Hey, is in Korean?
yes. Yes,
Are they
K is
anime?
in Korean. No, they're not anime. They're live action.
I haven't seen one. Huh.
Think soap operas in their heyday. Think telenovela, but
Oh.
it's noticeably Korean. I mean, one where the mother-in-law said she was going to drink bleach and die because they didn't love her enough. I'm like, damn, that's gangster. But they show relationships between men and women. They have, the screwball rom-com again, the dramatic one. I love She Would Never Know. I love what is it? Remarriage and Desires. And while it's not a romantic K-drama, but it's such a heartfelt family drama, and that's I think divorce attorney Shin. His sister, he was like a music virtuoso. He just played, piano. But his sister unfortunately was she was getting a divorce. His sister wound up getting hit by a car, and unfortunately she passed away, and her son went to go live with his dad and an absolutely freaking evil ass stepmother. I mean, this chick was totally evil. So he went to law school, became a divorce attorney because of what happened with his sister. And it turns out that he's one of the top divorce attorneys, and you find out these stories from all these people that he represents. You find out these relationships that are going on, but he is basically fighting to get custody of his nephew. It's so heartfelt. But I freaking love K-dramas. There's an anime that's on Netflix called My Happy Marriage. Oh my God.
Finally watched My Happy Marriage?
Did you? You know what I'm talking about, right?
I told you that shit was good.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It's so good. It's so good. And how they show the relationship between Mio and Lord Kudo.
Kudo.
And
Oh, isn't he a hottie for an anime? Oh
and they're
gosh.
gorgeous. And Mio, she's so sweet because, like Cinderella, she's been abused a heck of a lot. And Lord Kudo is almost like, well, Prince Charming, but he's kind of like a beast, but not really.
Do you notice how little by little she's kind of gaining confidence?
Mm-hmm.
Like when she stood up to that soldier and out came when she was like she caught herself, like, oh, did I really say that? And it's like, ooh, girl, you're finding your voice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I
My
tried to watch the
mom
latest episode today, but Netflix was being a pain in the rear. It
been
just
pain in the
wasn't
butt.
loading. So
You
yeah.
will love it. And yeah, I'm right. Yeah, K-dramas and Korean movies make no excuses for loving femininity.
Oh
Absolutely
yeah,
right.
that's Asian culture.
Indian movies
Yeah,
do the same thing,
you are
but
expected to
really,
act feminine if you're a
yes,
girl in Asian culture.
you are. Although I will say, don't think because they're polite and accommodating that they not talking crap behind your back. Because when I used to go to the nail salon, Korean nail salon, and one of the ujamas, the older women, would like do my
Mhm.
nails, they're all nosy. They're like, "You married? You got a boyfriend? Let me tell you, you treat them like crap and they love you. My husband, he will never leave me. I treat him like crap some days, but I'm not gonna say that." It's so funny. I'm just like, oh my God, this woman might stab somebody in their sleep. I love the topics today. I don't want the show to end. Oh, thank you,
Oh.
Aldo. We love doing this show, but it's just like some of us got to go to bed. Have to go to
Yeah,
bed.
more like me. It's like 3:29 a.m. over here.
Oh, well, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Oh yeah, look at the look on her face. She's like,
Yeah, like I can't
like, huh.
stand you. Who are you? Ew, ew, get away from
Yep.
me. Ew.
You disgusting little maggot.
I have not watched Money Heist. My sister told me Money Heist was good, so I'm gonna have to check that out. La Casa de Papel. Is that the Spanish
House of
interpretation of
Paper.
Money Heist, or is it
Huh.
another one? Because if it is, I haven't. If it is, I haven't seen it. I
Well,
haven't
it
seen it.
translates to the House of Paper.
That's
Papel
what I'm
is
thinking.
paper.
La Casa de Papel. Yeah, I think so. That's why I had to ask. I'm like, is that the Spanish translation? Because because I know French, but I'm starting. Well, first of all, you learn some Spanish by osmosis, just freaking living in Florida, and it's kind of funny. I go in the on the Walmart, and the security lady that checks your receipt. Without fail, she talks to me in Spanish first, and then when I start speaking English, then she'll speak in English. I'm just like, what the heck? I don't know. I don't know. I know a couple of words. I can read it better than I can see it. But I think it's funny watching translations and stuff. It's just like, wow, I did not think of it, especially when sometimes it doesn't translate too well. I guess it's the same thing. Okay. Yes. It's always a good Tuesday swimming with you guys. Well, we love spending time with you guys as well. And man, the drama with this movie is not over. It's so not
Oh no.
over. But
It's
like
just
I
getting
said,
started.
yeah. And
Wait
like I
till it
said,
releases and we watch it. And me and you are gonna shred it to pieces. The only reason I'm watching it is because you are. I want to shred it with you.
if you thought me torching the Little Mermaid live action was bad, you ain't seen nothing yet. This is personal. This is
Yeah,
so.
right. I'm watching it like the day it comes out. I don't care if I gotta go by myself.
This is freaking personal with this film. And I will say another thing that I've noticed, and I always pay attention to this stuff. I haven't seen any toys in Target or Walmart for this movie. So
Nothing. No, it's really sad because they could have made not just $1 billion had they done this right. I think it would have grossed. It would have like the highest grossing uh movie ever had they done it right.
But they don't want to. They don't want to do it right.
Nope.
They just want to.
And they could have sold so much merch. Oh my gosh. Costumes, accessories, dolls, hell, makeup. I mean,
That's a big one too. Makeup. They already have the princess collection at Bath and Body Works. I mean, I haven't shopped there in a dog's age, but I want that
we don't have
Jasmine
that
candle.
here.
So I want to try.
Yeah, we
So I
have a
went.
Bath and Body Works, but they don't really bring out the fancy special. We just kind of get the best top seller scents is what we get at best.
His eyes are sharpened and ready. The author says, I will never watch that movie. I may
Or
pay
like
Disney for
nails.
parts, but never a movie as terrible as this. I'm gonna get my loyalty points for seeing this sucker. And plus, you know me, I'm gonna fall on that grenade, so y'all don't have to.
Yeah, I'm just glad it only cost me $7 to go see this thing.
Well, folks, it's time for us to wrap up the show. Time just goes way too fast, and we just love spending so much time with you guys. You guys in the chat, you guys are our co-hosts too, so we love seeing what you guys have to say. So, Erica, where can people find you, and what do you have coming up? What's going on?
Well, so we tried to go to that bazaar so we could film it, and
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't feeling well, so
Oh
that didn't happen.
no.
Yeah, but they are having a bigger spring bazaar next month, so we're looking forward to filming that one. It's the same vendors they bring out. They kind of rotate them, but you guys haven't seen them, so we really want to get some footage of these European bazaars and show you the really amazing, unique
Mm-hmm.
crafts and home decor stuff you can get out here. And all right, I'm stream hopping right now, so you can find me here, T3PO, WDW Pro, and then your Saturday resort recon uh, live streams. I'm usually there too. I know the channel's kind of dead right now because there's not a whole lot going on, and we're not big travel bugs. Um,
Mm.
I know it's no excuse, but
Hey, you get to it, when you get to it, it's like sometimes there's not really a lot of content, and sometimes you're just putting out content, and kind of like me sitting on content because you filmed it 2 weeks ago, and it's just like,
oh,
well,
I've done that too.
it's like it's not gonna age. I recorded some panels from MegaCon, so I'll have to put those up. They're not really gonna age anytime soon, but they're so much fun. Let's see. I always have to say, what day is it? Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, watch party for my channel members. We are going to be watching Super/Man, the Christopher Reeve story. So if you are a channel member, you go to the called the community tab, but I think it's post now. And if you're a member, you will see the StreamYard watch link for the watch party. You need nothing but that particular link, and we're going to watch that. Let's see, Thursday. Thursday's off for me. Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern, Mediano Mafia members and we are going to be watching Nosferatu because it is finally going to be on streaming on the 21st. So we are going to watch that together. And of course, Saturday, Resort Recon Live. Man, we got a ton to talk about. The South Florida Water Management District approved Disney's permit to start the destruction of Rivers of America. So, yeah, they approved that. So we are going to be talking about that. Also, news, of course, about Epic Universe stuff is coming out fast and furious. More pictures. We're going to be talking about that, answering your questions about visiting Epic Universe, finding a place to stay, and of course, answering your questions. So that's what we will be doing on Saturday, and also 8 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. Watch party on my channel for Beverly Hills Cop, starring Eddie Murphy. Retro Nerd Girl is going to be on that panel with me, so we're going to have fun watching that. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Well, you all take care. Again, thank you guys so much for supporting the show. Make sure you're subscribed to Erica. Make sure you subscribe to Ron. Make sure you subscribe to me. Have an amazing rest of your day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, and we will see you next time. Bye.